Something big is happening up north. The vast, untamed landscapes of Canada are no longer just a backdrop. They're becoming the stage for a new economic story. While America's gaze is global, Canada is quietly transforming itself into a trade powerhouse, making moves that are both bold and strategic. This isn't about headlines or flashy announcements. It's about building real infrastructure, crafting smart strategies, and seizing opportunities that others might overlook. Global supply chains are breaking down, political tensions are rising, and climate change is literally redrawing the world's trade routes, opening new possibilities and closing old ones. In the midst of this chaos, Canada is investing in 5 critical trade corridors, new arteries of global commerce that cut straight through its heartland, connecting coasts and continents. For decades, the U.S. was the uncontested hub of North American trade, setting the pace and the rules for everyone else. Now Canada is creating faster, more reliable alternatives, modern routes that bypass old bottlenecks and offer new efficiencies. This shift could redefine economic relationships across the continent and force the U.S. to rethink its own strategies and adapt to a new reality. The game is changing, right on America's doorstep, and the stakes have never been higher for both nations. Canada's rise is a story of geography, technology, and ambition, of a country leveraging its unique position and resources to shape the future. It's about a nation stepping confidently onto the world stage, ready to lead and not just follow. The impact of these changes will be felt in every American city and town as supply chains shift and new partnerships form. From the frozen Arctic to the bustling Pacific ports, Canada is building the future of trade, one corridor, one connection at a time. The era of the quiet neighbor is over. Canada's ambitions are now front and center on the global stage. The U.S. must now decide how to respond to this new reality. The world is watching, and the choices made today will shape tomorrow's economy. Canada is no longer just America's shadow. It's stepping out as a true global player, ready to help define the next era of international trade. Canada's geography is its secret weapon. 5 trade routes define its new power: the Arctic Passage, Pacific Gateway, Atlantic Gateway, the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway, and a vast rail network. These corridors connect Asia, Europe, and North America, offering faster, more reliable paths for global trade. A container from Shanghai can reach Chicago via Prince Rupert, faster than through Los Angeles. Shipments from Germany land in Halifax and bypass congested U.S. ports. Canada's network is built for resilience. If one route is blocked, others keep goods moving. This redundancy is a huge draw for global companies seeking stability. Canada isn't replacing the U.S., it's creating a competitive, complementary system. For many, Canada is now the smart choice for de-risking supply chains. This is the foundation of its quiet rise. The Northwest Passage, once a frozen myth and a dream of explorers, is now opening up to the world. Melting ice is transforming this once impassable Arctic route into a seasonal shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, offering new possibilities for global trade. The numbers are staggering. Shanghai to Rotterdam via the Suez Canal is a journey of 11,000 nautical miles. Through the Northwest Passage, it's just over 8,000 miles. This significant reduction in distance means nearly 40% shorter travel, saving time, fuel, and money, which are critical factors in the shipping industry. Canada now controls one side of this emerging global artery. The opportunity is immense: transit fees, investment, and geopolitical leverage. However, the challenge is equally daunting: environmental risks and sovereignty disputes, especially with the U.S., which views the passage as international waters, complicating diplomatic relations. The Arctic's transformation is forcing nations to rethink their strategies and alliances. For the U.S., a Canadian-controlled Northwest Passage could divert significant traffic from American ports and the Panama Canal, impacting their economies. It also raises urgent security questions as nations vie for control and influence in this strategic region. The frozen North is now a dynamic, contested frontier, where the stakes are high and the future uncertain. Canada's stewardship of this route could reshape global shipping, altering trade patterns and economic power balances. The world is closely watching how Canada manages this newfound power and responsibility. The Arctic is no longer a barrier, it's a gateway to new opportunities and challenges. The stakes have never been higher as nations navigate this new era of Arctic exploration and exploitation. Canada's Pacific Gateway is already changing the game, quietly but powerfully transforming how goods move between continents. Ports like Vancouver and Prince Rupert are not only closer to Asia than any major US port, but they also offer a strategic advantage for global trade. Ships can reach Prince Rupert from Shanghai up to 3 days faster than Los Angeles, saving valuable time and reducing shipping costs for companies. Containers move seamlessly from ship to rail, bypassing the notorious congestion and delays often seen at US ports, ensuring a smoother supply chain. Major US retailers now use Canadian ports to stock their stores, choosing speed, reliability, and efficiency to keep their shelves full and customers happy. Every container that enters through Prince Rupert instead of Los Angeles means lost revenue and jobs for the US, shifting economic benefits northward. This shift is putting real pressure on American ports to modernize, invest in new technology, and improve their efficiency to stay competitive. The US is becoming increasingly reliant on Canadian infrastructure for its own supply chain, deepening cross-border economic ties. The front door to North America is no longer exclusively American, it's now shared, and Canada is taking a leading role. Canada is now a critical gateway for Asian trade, connecting the world's largest economies with North American markets. The balance of power is shifting, and the world is watching as Canada steps into the spotlight. The Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway is the industrial lifeline of North America. It links Atlantic ports to the continent's manufacturing core, bypassing crowded coasts. Bulk goods like grain and iron ore flow directly to and from the heartland. The Seaway is a model of US-Canada cooperation, but it faces challenges: aging infrastructure and ships too large for its locks. Canada is investing to keep it relevant, marketing it as a reliable green alternative. The Seaway's future depends on joint investment and vision. Its health reflects the strength of North American industry. Canada's strategy ensures its industrial centers stay globally connected. Canada's 5 trade routes are a wake-up call for the US-Canadian infrastructure is now actively competing for cargo once captive to US routes. Every container that bypasses US ports means lost revenue and jobs. This is a structural shift, not a blip. Economic competition is creating political tension. The US may consider protectionism, but the economies are too intertwined. Canada's public-private investment model outpaces America's gridlocked process. The scale and coordination of Canada's strategy is surprising Washington. This is a national vision, not just isolated projects. The US must adapt, not resist. North America is now a multi-gateway continent. Efficiency, not borders, will decide the winners. The challenge is to keep up. The US-Canada relationship is entering a new era. The old superpower-dependent neighbor dynamic is gone. Now it's a partnership of equals. Integrated, but competitive. The future depends on how both nations respond. Will they compete, driving innovation, or collaborate for a seamless North American network? The risk protectionism and subsidy wars. The opportunity joint investment and shared prosperity. Canada has made its move, building the roots and opening the doors. Now, the US must decide its next move on the North American chessboard. The world is watching.